What is going on, guys? Matt Downs with Daily Grind Fantasy Sports to help give you the edge for this 8-game NBA slate. Cannot wait to break it down. If you guys are brand new to this channel, we provide both free and paid content for all daily fantasy sports across all sports. If you guys want to be entered into our $25 giveaway, please like, subscribe, and comment your favorite GPP play on the slate. We will announce the winner on Friday. If you guys would like to know more about becoming a better DFS player and taking down that big GPP, head over to www.patreon.com/DGFantasy for more information. On Patreon, we give advanced cheat sheets for all DFS sports on DraftKings. These cheat sheets include updated projections, ownership, and our overall favorite plays from slate to slate. We take it a step further by teaching you how to play fantasy sports like a shark, by showing you where the best leverage spots are to put you in the best spots to take down tourneys. Also included is our private Discord chat where you get to talk over the slate with everyone, including our coaches, to help build your lineups. Now let's go ahead and dive right into this NBA 8-game slate, but first you guys know I have to go over the Patreon success that we had last night. Last night on stream we had a little talk about how aggressive you need to be when stacking Miami or any teams that have an 8-man rotation. Yes, they did go to overtime, so last night was a little bit of an outlier, but the process overall worked. As you guys can see, some of our Patreon members took that advice. Our core was all Miami Heat and turned $3 into 65, $1 into 10, $12 into 165. If you guys keep going down the list, almost a takedown in every single contest. We had some more Patreon success. This guy actually stacked the Miami Heat in all of his double-ups as well. And then this guy took down a 12, or well, I don't know how much the single entry was, but won $1,250, beat some of the Sharks, as you guys can see. And then we also had $12 turned into 144. Overall, a great night for Patreon users all the way around. Also, our prize picks hit the over on these guys. I had Kevin Durant as my favorite play. I actually had him projected at 57.6 points, so actually wasn't that far off. But nonetheless, we do provide premium prize picks as well on Patreon. Now let's go ahead and switch over to this actual 8-game slate. So we have a lot of pending injury news. Nothing solidified right now. I'm going to try to give you guys a general direction in terms of how to play these teams if certain people are ruled out. Again, I'll give you my best advice throughout this video. Right now, we're going to base this on what we know right now. Okay, and I'm also going to give you guys some what-if scenarios. So right now with Milwaukee, nothing really needs to be said about them. Same thing with Detroit. They're in a pace-down spot. Milwaukee's in a pace-down spot. Detroit's technically in a pace-up spot. However, they don't have too many injuries to impact their team. With Dallas, we get quite the opposite. Porzingis is available to play, or should be at least. 2 nights ago, he was slated to play, but their game got canceled. Porzingis should only play in limited minutes. Right now, we have Brunson out, Finney-Smith, Kleber, Powell, and Josh Richardson. So a lot of usage to go around, a lot of minutes. We will pay a visit to the Dallas Mavericks here in a little bit. With Charlotte, we have Cody Zeller still out. We have the Orlando-Boston game, obviously postponed. Brooklyn, everybody's still out. The diva, Kyrie Irving himself, is still out technically. Don't know what his future is going to hold in Brooklyn. Dinwiddie, Claxton, all inactive, and Kevin Durant is still $9,400. Newsflash, he's a good play tonight. New York Knicks, Bullock, Alec Burks, Frank, and Toppin are all out. With Memphis, we have Jackson, Morant, Porter, Tilly, and Winslow still out for these guys. Minnesota, Karl Anthony Towns is still questionable. Don't know if he's going to play, but that will definitely impact that picture in Minnesota. With the Lakers, we have some crazy price tags on these Lakers. We will talk about that here in just a second. Anthony Davis is technically questionable. Dudley is out. Same thing with Wesley Matthews. OKC, nothing to be said there. Atlanta, we have a bunch of pending injury news. Kind of a headache there to look at that picture. With Phoenix, nothing really needs to be said about them. New Orleans, we have Lonzo Ball technically out. Eric Bledsoe is questionable. If Eric Bledsoe is out, we have a lot of minutes to be spread around for those guards in New Orleans. With the Clippers, we have Zubac, Scrub, questionable. Or sorry, Scrub is out. Zubac is questionable. With Portland, Lillard is probable. Nurkic is questionable, which is pretty big. Collins and Blevins, they are both out. And then last but not least, the Sacramento Kings. Buddy Hield is probable. Same thing with Holmes, and Jeffries is out. So not too much going on there. Let's go ahead and start with the Dallas game. Like I said, we have Josh Richardson, Finney Smith, Kleber, Powell, and Brunson out. So let's see how that impacts the picture. Right now, Carly Stein is projected at 27 minutes at a 4.1K price tag. I don't hate that value. James Johnson, also a good value play at $3,900, projected at 26 minutes. I like to prefer those minutes to be a little bit higher. When you're asking for a near minimum price tag, especially anything under $4,000, I like those minutes to be a little bit higher, just to increase the ceiling play from those players, similar to what we saw last night with the Miami Heat. If we look down the list here, we have a Windu at $3,200 at playing 29 minutes. Not a good fantasy point per minute player, which is why he's actually only a 6.3 point per dollar value. Boban, projected at 13 minutes right now. If Porzingis is held out yet again, load up Boban. He should get about 20 minutes. He's a very high fantasy point per minute player, probably around 1.5. So I like to think of him as an Anthony Davis at $3,000. When he's only playing about 14 to 20 minutes, he still is worth it. Right now, he's showing a 6 point per dollar value on our sheet. Luka went down in price tag, which is actually very intriguing. I thought he would keep going up the way he's been playing. Yes, Porzingis is back, but he's playing a very limited amount of minutes. They have a good matchup here against Charlotte. I do like his price tag at 10.8. I have to see what his ownership is sitting at once it does come out. But I do like Luka Doncic as a pay-up option tonight for sure, just because he's still benefiting from everybody being out. Plus, Porzingis really technically isn't back, even though he is technically back. He's not actually back, only playing limited minutes. Trey Burke, $4,900, not that bad of a fantasy point per minute player. If you want to take a stab at him in tournaments, don't hate that. No interest all the way down the list here for the rest of the Dallas Mavericks. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Charlotte Hornets here. We have Biyombo all the way down here at $4,200 with the depleted front court here for the Dallas Mavericks. So I do like him here in this matchup. I think he presents a nice GPP tournament low ownership, high upside guy. Devontae Graham is at $6,200. He's one of my favorite GPP options last slate. I actually don't mind him here at the $6,200 price tag. He is still playing between 32 and 35 minutes, so plenty of minutes for a good price tag here on Devontae Graham. Do like him in tournaments. Same thing with LaMelo Ball. We know his fantasy point output has been crazy, has been slamming value every single time. So I do like these guys for tournament plays. Going over to Milwaukee and Detroit, the big question is this game going to blow out? If it's not, I do obviously like all of these players. No injuries will give any help to any one of these guys. Giannis at 10.6. The eye test is that he's very cheap here. Again, the big question is this game going to blow out? They're a 10-point favorite right now. Don't expect them to blow out. Therefore, I do like Giannis as a GPP option. Same thing with Middleton, but nothing more needs to be said about these Milwaukee Bucks. Going over to Detroit, Killian Hayes is still out. Doesn't give that much of a boost. We know that these guys are still higher in price tags. Nothing more needs to be said. I do like Mason Plumlee as a GPP option just because of matchup here against Lopez. And I also do like D Rose, Delon Wright as GPP plays. If we switch down, though, we have a lot more interesting teams to talk about here. Brooklyn Nets being one of them. Kevin Durant is still $9,400, averages 1.69 fantasy points per minute without Kyrie Irving and Dinwiddie on the court, giving him a fantasy projection of 59.15, so a little bit higher than last night, playing in a softer matchup here. Versus the Knicks, the overall over-under is a little bit lower, actually the lowest on the slate besides the Lakers and OKC. So that being said, he's an okay play. I don't have as much interest as I did last night. They were playing in a higher over-under, but again, this is a very good spot still for Kevin Durant. Assuming he plays the full minutes, this is the second leg of a back-to-back. I wouldn't be surprised if we got some late-breaking injury news saying that he is ruled out. However, he did say he was already playing. Still wouldn't be that surprised. I think DraftKings anticipated on him being out because Karis LeVert got a major price increase here to $8,000. Don't really agree with that one. I think everybody else is just strictly tournament plays here from the Brooklyn Nets. Switching over to the Knicks. By the way, this is the Battle of New York. Not really much of a rivalry, though. The New York Knicks don't have too many injury news here to give a boost to anybody in particular. Mitchell Robinson still below 6K, so don't mind him for tournaments. Quickly is projected at 24 minutes, so that is an additional benefit here. If you're looking at the bottom of the barrel price tag here, $3,100 for Quickly. Still don't recommend anybody here outside of major tournaments. Going over to Memphis, we have a lot of injury news already out for these guys, but all the price tags have come up for these guys. Brandon Clark's probably my favorite here, but again, probably strictly GPP and tournament plays. Projected at 30 minutes at 5.6 point per dollar value. Melton, another good option. $4,000 just as a strictly boom or bust. He is a gunslinger, so 21 minutes is what we have him projected at right now. Switching over to Minnesota, we are still pending that Karl Anthony Towns news. If he is held out, that's going to benefit guys like D'Angelo Russell. It's going to benefit guys like Ricky Rubio, but Ricky Rubio has been bad as of late, has picked it up in his past 3 contests, but got off to a very slow start to start the season. Malik Beasley, not that bad of a price tag here, gets a ton of minutes, so that will benefit guys that are getting a ton of minutes and have higher usage rates like Ricky Rubio, D'Lo, and also Beasley. Switching down to the Lakers, this is the one team I want to talk about. Right now, Anthony Davis is questionable. However, he is always questionable. Probably the lowest salary, the lowest price tag I've seen from him ever. 9K is absolutely insane for Anthony Davis playing 34 minutes. The eye test does pass. Yes, this is a pace down spot, but again, somebody who's not driven from the pace of the game, like Anthony Davis, not a particular high volume shooter, he's just going to benefit from this game. I think $9,000, he should be very, very high owned. And if he's not, I think he makes for a very good tournament play. Also, LeBron James coming down in price tag. You're getting 2 huge usage guys for below $10,000. I do like both of their spots. Other than that, not too much interest all the way around. Dennis Schroeder always makes for a good GPP option. But again, this is a pace down spot. I'd probably only look at Anthony Davis if I'm considering him in cash or GPP. Switching over to OKC, we have them in a pace down spot. I'm never on these guys. Same thing again, not really too much interest here. Pace down spot, all the price tags make sense. They are priced accordingly, not any injury news to really break them. And if we scroll down here to Atlanta, not too much to be said here either. We do have an interesting price drop here in Trae Young, 8.9K. I think it's the cheapest I've seen him ever. Again, he hasn't been playing the same kind of basketball he played last season, but did hit value at 8.9K last slate. So I do like him here as a GPP option. John Collins, $7,000. Don't mind him as well. And same thing for Clint Capella. Clint Capella is technically questionable. If he is rolled out, that's going to give a boost to somebody like John Collins and also some backup center play, and should give a boost in their minutes. Switching over to the Phoenix Suns, we have DeAndre Ayton at $7,000, is also getting a price decrease. This last game was a blowout, so don't look too far into this. I think this is another great GPP option. Chris Paul, $7,200, continues to hit value. Another great high floor player and also a high ceiling. Talk about high ceiling, it's going to be Devin Booker, $8,300. We know he's a volume shooter, so playing against Atlanta in a pace up spot. I do like these players a lot from the Phoenix Suns for GPP options, more specifically with DeAndre Ayton and also Chris Paul. Switching over to the Pelicans, I think this is just the slate of price drops because we see another price drop here in Zion, $7,300. I mean, that is crazy for a caliber player like Zion. He's hit value in his past 3 contests, and they were all not blowouts. We anticipate this to be relatively close. It's a 6-point spread in the favor of the Clippers. Should be relatively lower scoring, but yet another player that doesn't benefit from high or low over-unders. He doesn't really dictate his game based on the pace of the game. He's a do-it-all player. So Zion, high usage, and I think that his price tag just passes the eye test, very, very low with a $7,300 price tag. We know that Lonzo Ball is officially out and Bledsoe is also questionable. So we're looking at guys like Alexander Walker here, projected 26 minutes. If Bledsoe is out, look for him to be very, very chalky. He's still playing a good amount of minutes for a $3,100 price tag. Right now, he's the chalk value on the slate strictly because of his price tag. Again, if Bledsoe is out, you have to lock in this guy for all cash contests. Right now, it's up for debate, but I still think he's a very good value play. In a good matchup, the Clippers ranked 21st against opposing point guards in the NBA right now. He's just a great point per dollar value. Right now, we have him at an 8.9 point per dollar value. Also, JJ Redick is projected at 26 minutes. When he is given minutes, he does do something with them. He's a high volume shooter. Yes, he is boomer bust, but again, if Bledsoe is out, look for both of these guards here from the Pelicans to be in smash spots against the Clippers. Switching over to the Clippers, we actually have higher price tags on all these guys. Not really too much interest here unless one of these guys are held out, which they shouldn't be. Kawhi Leonard is playing his first game back off a rest game. And then we do have Paul George at $9,300, just strictly overpriced on both of those guys. So not too much interest here in a pace down spot. Last but not least, we have a very, very high over-under, a 236 over-under against it's going to be the Portland Trailblazers versus Sacramento Kings. Both of these guys play at a very high pace. This is a pace-up spot for both of these teams, and they are by far the highest over-under by 8 points. Next highest is going to be Atlanta versus Phoenix. So if you want high upside, guys, you guys got to look for this late night hammer in Portland. I do have interest in pretty much all of these guys, especially if Nurkic is out. I do like Damian Lillard. I obviously made him the thumbnail. $9,500, you're going to grab a stud, and the highest over under, I think that's pretty straightforward. I think he's going to be relatively high owned. $9,500 in the price tag. He has come down from his previous 97 high. We do have Derek Jones here. $3,700 does present some good value, and just all the way around, you can take stabs at pretty much all of these guys, but my favorite one's going to be Damian Lillard. I do like Derek Jones and Robert Covington as value plays. Switching over to the Sacramento Kings, we actually have some nice price tags here as well. De'Aaron Fox at $7,400, pretty low, did come down in the price tag. We also have Buddy Hield and Holmes expected to play, so a couple of other players I do like. Harrison Barnes continues to be a great value play. Just plays a ton of minutes, and this is a high over under, so I do like him. I also do like Holmes if he does play and start. Not a fan of Buddy Hield, but if you want to take a stab at him in tournaments, he's just not a high fantasy point per minute player. But yeah, that will wrap up my breakdown, guys. Grab all the updated injury news and last minute plays, our favorite plays. Closer to lock, we'll have ownership updates as well on the live stream. So that will end my video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please do hit that subscription button, notification button, of course, smash that like button for all of our future NBA content. With all that being said, have a great rest of your day, and let's cash.